Hello and welcome to Tech Sherpa Show, episode 61. Today is Wednesday, February 4th. My name is Kern.
And I'm Jake. And I just want to remind everyone, if there's any questions that aren't addressed in today's show, you can go to techsherpas.org and we'll answer them next show.
Terrific. Thanks for all your questions. You can find all our previous shows at archives.techsherpas.org.
All right, guys. So this week we're going to be talking about signing out of your Google account.
Now, I had a student come this week, and she came in and she's very upset because she had logged into her account and left. I think she closed out of Chrome. She checks it out Chrome, but she actually kept herself logged in. And so another student went in behind her, pulled it up, and did all kinds of damage to her account as far as deleted stuff, all kinds of awful things. So what we're going to talk about today, go through some of the steps of making sure that we are signed out. That's the plan.
That's the plan.
So let's do our screen share here. Very good. Okay, so the first thing is signing in and signing out. Of course, you can go to google.com right up here, and I can click up here and I can sign myself out. And generally, that's the way to do it, right? And you sign yourself out. What people don't realize sometimes is if they're signed into the browser Chrome itself. Now, how do I know if I'm signed in the browser Chrome? Up here at the top, you can see my name here. I could switch people if I had multiple accounts signed in, but this will show me that I'm signed in. So that means I could sign out of here and not necessarily sign out of the entire browser. And I think that's what happened. They signed into the browser because the logins look similar. If I do a quick new incognito window here, and let's go to Google and click sign in, this right here looks like I'm just going to sign in. So if I sign into my Tech Sherpa account, I'm signed in. And even if I close out, now I am in an incognito mode, which basically what that means is kind of like having another browser. It doesn't store your history, doesn't store your anything really. So it's a little bit different than the regular Chrome. But I know a lot of students that I work with, they'll go into Chrome, they'll sign in, and then they'll walk away, or they'll just close out of the window, not realizing they actually haven't signed out of the entire thing. So really be mindful of that. We want our kids to really, it's a bad lesson to learn. Hopefully, if it does happen, it only happens once. Another factor that happened in this student's case was she was signed into her Gmail account. Now, her personal Gmail account, we really don't have any access to. If you're in a school or district that has Google Apps for Education, if you are in your apps account, you can actually go in and restore data. So if something was deleted, you could go back a couple days and restore it. And I've done that before for students. But with your regular Gmail account, I explain this to the students, there's not much we can do. A couple other tips that you can do to make sure you're signed out and hopefully help you out. One is let's say you don't sign out and you go home and you forget that you're signed in at school. If you go to your regular Gmail, and in the far lower right, it's really tiny, so you kind of have to hide here to see it here. In the far lower right, there's a little link called for details. So click on that. And in this details link, this shows me everywhere my account has been logged in the last, I don't know, hour or so, or a couple hours. So right now I'm signed in the United States. Here's my IP address. Here's my browser, and I can show details. But it also shows me that I've been signed in Massachusetts. Now, 36 minutes ago, I was not in Massachusetts. What that means is my account used my account to log in at a server somewhere in Massachusetts. Typically, this might be a thing where, let's say it's Twitter or Facebook or some account that you've used your Google account to sign into it. And if you're wondering what things you've signed in with your Google account and kind of want a major list of there, you can use a website called mypermissions.org. So if I go to mypermissions.org, right here I can go to Facebook and Twitter or Google. I'll use the Google one here. And this will show me all the places that I've used my Google account to sign into other things. So here's other websites, here's all kinds of stuff. And if I wanted to disconnect, I could do it right here. I could say, okay, revoke access right from here. And you can show a whole list of them. The other really important one here is with let's pull that window back up. Right here is a big button called sign out of all other web sessions. Now this is the big one. So if you sign in at school, go home, forget that you're signed in, you can click on that and you would sign out of all of them at once. And that's what you want to do. That way you make sure you're not signed in somewhere that you didn't mean to be. So that's the big thing this week, is making sure that we're signed out of our accounts. If you are signed in, the other thing too I recommend doing in Chrome itself under the settings, so clicking up here on the 3 lines, go to settings. There's a couple choices here under advanced settings. And one of them right in here says enable autofill and offer to save your passwords. Now, I don't recommend offering to save your passwords unless it's a machine that only you will ever use. If it's something that other people might use, you don't want to do that, because when you manage passwords, all the ones that are saved here will actually be available that other people can get onto them. So if you uncheck that and remove those, that way they won't be able to save your passwords and be able to go in and see it, even if they're not on the machine. So hopefully that will help people with making sure they're signed out.
Definitely.
I know there's been a lot of snow up in the Northeast this last couple of weeks, so we haven't been typically on Tuesdays like we normally are, but we'll do our best and certainly try to throw something together once a week to still continue the Tech Sherpa show.
Definitely. And thanks everyone who joined us today, and we hope that next Tuesday or Wednesday or whenever we get around to it next week, join us at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll answer more of your questions.
Thank you very much, and see you next time.